Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming a video inspired by my friend Heather Austin. She filmed the most forgotten about makeup releases of 2021 and I was so curious that I went through Trend Mood and tried to pick out some makeup releases that I genuinely forgot about. Some of them are a little bit controversial. I kind of chuckled a little bit because there were some truly awful names when it came to product releases this year. So if you guys are curious to hear my forgotten about makeup products, then just keep watching. Also, if you are new to my channel, highly recommend subscribing, turning on that bell so you are notified every time I post. I am posting every day up until the 25th, so highly recommend checking out those videos. I'm so excited. I have 15 forgotten about releases, so let's start off. I'm gonna put pictures up just so you guys know what the heck I'm talking about. But the first thing, I was like, oh my gosh, there were so many Disney collabs this year. I forgot about this one, and it's the Colourpop Disney Heart of Gold Super Shock Shadow Volt. And this one was really cute because each princess had a different Super Shock, and their picture was kind of on the cover, so they did like this really cute special packaging, and I'm sure all the Disney people went nuts for it, but it was something I very easily forgot about this year because, like I said, there were so many Disney collaborations this year. If you are a Disney collector, like feeling bad for your bank account, because if you love Disney as much as like I love, I don't know, Pat McGrath, like you'd want to have every single launch that's Disney related. Oh my goodness, and there is a lot. I am planning on filming a video where I roast collaboration palettes and like collections with IPs, and my list is like 80 something releases. It's wild. I might even have to do 2 parts. Like that's how crazy the list is. Anyway, the next thing that I forgot about is the Glossier Solar Paint Luminous Bronze Cremes. And I actually wanted this. I was like looking at this collection. I was adding it to my cart. I was taking it out. I was like, I don't need it. What am I going to do with it? Am I going to like the formula? Like I asked myself so many questions, and I decided to pass on it. And then when I was doing research for this video, I saw that release and I was like, oh my gosh, I wanted that. Like, how did I get over wanting that? Like, it's so shocking, isn't it? Like you want something and then you forget about it, and then you remember it like months later and you're like, oh, good thing I didn't waste my money, because that's kind of how makeup buying works. Like if you can actually take away the thought and like give it some time, it's very easy to forget about stuff, but sometimes that's easier said than done, especially when you love makeup as much as I do. I definitely need to learn better impulse control, but you know what? That's a project for another day. Anyway, I didn't buy those Glossier bronzer things, but I don't think I heard anyone talking about them. So if you guys tried it, let me know down in the comments because I'm curious. Now the next thing, this is the one where I was like, controversial names. The Melt Sex Foil Digital Liquid Highlighters. I feel like everybody was kind of chuckling at this name because it's like, why'd you gotta get sex into it? Like, what does sex have to do with liquid highlighters? Like, I don't know. Like, I know Melt is edgy, but it was like almost to the point of like trying too hard with that name, you know what I mean? So I don't know how this product was. I didn't see many people buy it. I did see Melt is doing mystery boxes, and people that are doing the mystery box unboxings are getting those liquid highlighters in their boxes. So I'm guessing they're trying to get rid of like some products that weren't doing as well. So again, if you got a Melt Sex Foil in your mystery box, let me know down in the comments. Have you tried it yet? If so, what are your thoughts? Next is something that again was very controversial when it launched, mostly because of the price point. Everybody lost their mind. Like Hourglass was already on thin ice because they don't have enough products in certain makeup categories in their line. And so then they decided, I know, let's launch really expensive eyeshadows. So they launched their Hourglass Curator eyeshadow collection. I believe you could get like 3 eyeshadows in like $150 bundle. And the internet freaking lost their minds. Like people were upset, rightfully so, I guess. I mean, I never wanted to try them, so to me, it's like, if I don't want to try it, like I couldn't care less what the price is, because to me, I'm like, whatever. If somebody wants to spend $150 on an eyeshadow, go for it. Okay, the next one is the Nymph All Over Glow Highlighter. And again, this one I remember everybody was nuts about because it had this beautiful embossing. It looked like a rose. I think they launched some of these last year. Not 100% sure, but I remember this particular one, everyone's like, I want it. Even me, I thought I wanted it. But at the end of the day, I don't think these were sold anywhere other than the Huda Beauty website. And I was like, I'm not paying for that shipping and XYZ. So I talked myself out of it, completely forgot about it. Haven't seen anyone mention it in their year-end favorites or anything like that. So again, another forgotten about launch. The next one I forgot about that I laughed about was the Urban Decay Naked 3 Mini Eyeshadow Palette. This is probably one of those eyeshadow palettes that is like a really good seller at Sephora, but because I have the makeup taste I have, looking at this puts me to sleep. And I'm not saying that to hurt anyone's feelings. Like I said, I'm sure this palette does really well at Sephora because it's a basic palette. Most people don't want to rock a metallic green eye look at 11 o'clock in the morning. That's me. This is my style. I love neutrals, but I also love colorful makeup. But some people just want everyday mattes done. Bing, bang, boom. So I totally get it, but I totally forgot that this palette launched this year. Next is Morphe 2 as just the brand in general. I think this brand launched last year or the beginning of this year. Honestly, I don't fucking remember. But it kind of made me laugh because I'm like, what happened to Morphe 2? Like, they launched some lip glosses, I think. That's why I wrote them down in my list. And I'm like, what the heck were they even thinking? Like, to me, the brands aren't different enough where you would noticeably see the difference. I think when they originally launched, they said they were kind of like trying to target the TikTok watching crowd, and I think they had some famous TikTokers as like brand ambassadors, or like, I don't know if it was their brand like partnership. Listen, I don't know. I don't care. I heard that the foundation's pretty good. I think Heather tried the foundation. I was curious about the brand, but honestly not curious enough to buy anything. So yeah, most forgotten about makeup products, Morphe 2, the brand. Like, what happened? Who knows? Do I even care? No. Next is the Dominique Cosmetics Transition Palette. I totally forgot about this palette. I was really into collecting Dominique Cosmetics palettes until I had an honest conversation with myself and I realized I don't even like her eyeshadow formula. So I think I've decluttered all of her eyeshadow palettes at this point from my collection. I'm pretty sure I have because I can't remember what I have from her, so I'm pretty sure I've decluttered everything. And it's just funny because it's like not a bad brand, I just don't like the formula. And then this was like an all matte palette that she was like marketing to people as like a everyday, you can use it for your face and things like that as well. I haven't seen this palette in person. I'm assuming the pans aren't that big. Not that I have a problem with small eyeshadow or like small face palettes because I have like different size brushes so I can get into stuff easy. But yeah, I don't know. This palette was just so forgettable. I did forget about it, but I wanted to mention it in this video because I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about you. Next is another set of palettes that I forgot about. And I remember people kind of were curious about this because we hadn't heard from Stila in a long time. But remember the Camouflage and the Nobility eyeshadow palettes? I think everyone was like, whoa, Sigma, way to like dazzle us with some of that color. Like, the Camouflage palette had like a really muted green. And we were all like, whoa, like, slow clap for Sigma for joining the party. And then I feel like, again, never heard from them after that. Don't know if anybody bought the palette. Never saw the palette in stores. I have no clue, man. I totally forgot about that. So I was chuckling when I saw that launch and I put it on my list. Next is the Kat Von D Liquid Gel Blush. This was a lightweight, long-wearing formula. And I will say, I did actually buy this and I forgot about it. So I wanted to mention it here. But I remember in the video where I tried the blush, I put it on and I was like, where did it go? Like, where did it go? And you guys said the same thing. You're like, what? Like, you're trying on a blush there? Like, where did it go? Okay, the next product, this one was a bit controversial too, and I wanted to mention it because I haven't seen anyone talk about it since it launched, and those are the Bite Beauty Daycation Whipped Cream blushes. And everybody was making fun of this blush because without the lid on, it kind of looked like, and yeah, people couldn't stop talking about it. People couldn't stop laughing about it. I'm pretty sure people's videos got demonetized because they kept comparing it to an eggplant. And yeah, it was just funny. Like, when the packaging makes more of an impact than the actual product, there's a problem. And I feel like sometimes when you do something a little controversial or a little out of the box, it really generates a lot of PR for the brand. Like, I feel like nobody would have cared if Bite Beauty did liquid blushes and then they made this like weird packaging where everyone's like, really? Somebody approved this packaging? Plus, honestly, it just looked like terrible packaging. Like, forget the fact that the tip looked like an eggplant. Think about how annoying it would be to try and sit there and like squeeze it, and inevitably you would get too much product, and it was just like a whole nightmare. Without even experiencing it, it looked like a nightmare. So the next thing I forgot about, this was kind of a joke. The KKW Beauty Eye Contour Duos. Do you guys remember this? It was basically a tiny 2-pan palette that Kim Kardashian thought people needed to contour their eyes. Like, why you would need to buy an eye duo when you could buy any 2 matte eyeshadows, or reach into any of your palettes that probably have 2 matte eyeshadows, or just use your contour shades in your eyes. Like, why do you need a specific 2-pan palette to contour your eyes? Like, it doesn't even make sense. I feel like that was like the con of the freaking century, if anybody actually was like, ooh, I need that. Like, no, plenty of brands make eyeshadow duos like that, or you can just buy 2 single eyeshadows. There's no need to buy an eye contour duo. That was literally a con. Okay, next is the Fenty Gloss Bomb Dip. See, this is why I said this is kind of like a two-parter. It's forgotten about things, but also controversial things. I remember this freaking product got roasted so hard when it was announced. Everyone's like, it's literally like the time of COVID, and people are so particular about like germs and contamination and like where their hands have been. Like, people are washing their hands, people are sanitizing their hands like there's no tomorrow. So maybe Fenty thought, hey, since people's hands are so clean right now, maybe they want to dip their finger into a balm. I personally hate balms and like any like lip product that you have to apply with your finger. I will use a cotton bud to apply lip balm if I can. I mean, sometimes I get really bad cotton buds, you know, like the ones where they like fall apart as soon as you like use them for anything. So sometimes I'll want to burn through a pack of those and I'll use them to put lip balm on. But I hate the feeling of like Vaseline, Aquaphor, lip balm. Like, luckily there's this fabulous invention for diaper cream. It looks like this. I will link it in my Amazon store under pregnancy finds if you are like me and you don't like the feeling of like petroleum jelly on your hands. And it's magical. My daughter gets nice butt cream rub with that thing because I hate touching Aquaphor. And I don't know if that's a me thing or there's more people like me out there, but I've never talked to anyone about it. So now I'm telling you about it. So to me, like, any balm that comes in like a pot or anything is a hassle. And I just remember people just being so upset with this launch, and I don't blame them. I think it's a horrible launch and I don't really know what happened to it. I don't know if it's still sold on Sephora. If it is, I would love to know what the sales numbers are on that launch, because I thought that product was honestly just fucking weird, if I'm being honest. So, and the next product, again, another controversial one for the name. This is the Too Faced Lady Balls collection, and I think Too Faced actually got the memo and they launched this as the Lady Bold collection instead. Because everyone's like, nobody wants a company that is owned by a white man making lipstick called Lady Balls. Like, no. Like, female empowerment is all the rage, but nobody wants that. I'm sure people say it like as a phrase. I'm sure I've said it, like, you know, just grow some balls and blah, 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 blah. But like, the fact that somebody's trying to profit off of that is just super duper cringy. So I'm really glad that Too Faced got the memo and they decided to change the name. At least that's what I think. I don't think they ever announced that they changed the name, and these were the Lady Ball lipsticks that they launched as Lady Bold. But the names are so close and the packaging looks very similar. So to me, I think they did just rename the launch which I think was really smart, honestly. Okay, the last thing, number 15, is the Gucci Beauty eyeshadow palette. And I bought the palette. I know, I'm an idiot. I've since decluttered it off to a friend to try out because it was too much. It was too much. It was too light for me. I mean, I could make it work, but when you have the eyeshadow palette collection that I do, there's really no need to make any palettes work, so I'd rather it go to somebody that enjoys it. I feel like that launch came, we saw, we said trash, and we all moved on, so I feel like we kind of forgot about it. People are saying that the packaging is refillable, and so I'm really hoping for Gucci's sake they make some really cool color stories. For now, that was a fail for me, and I definitely forgot about it. I feel like the hype died down pretty quick with it. Again, controversial thing about it was the price. And sometimes I think brands do use controversy to their advantage. That is it for this video. Let me know some forgotten makeup items that you just thought about while watching this video. Like I said, I will link Heather's video in the description box. So I'm sure you guys have already seen it, but in case you haven't, go check out her video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video tomorrow. Bye guys!